We all don't have the same qualities. So whatever that is in you, you can use it to touch lives. And to be honest, that's what it is for me. I am going to promote this book more because, one, I've told my daughter I'm going to send all of them. I've got 3 beautiful girls, and they have got talent.
Is there any way, is there any way people could buy with them some more copies from here instead of getting from Amazon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm just going to get some. I'll bless some people with it because I know people who don't know where they are going. They are confused. These young people, most of them are confused. Some people are blessed that they know their calling.
For this kind of...
There is a need. There is. To be honest with you, it should be. Even with the transformation process we are, planning in Africa, we need everybody to have this book. So that from time, they will know where they're going. So that they won't be confused. Because what people say around you will make you, oh God. I'll tell you an example. My daughter was confused, had to repeat a year, A-levels. Why? Because people are telling her, oh, you write well, you could be a doctor, you could be this. She's bright, but you know what? She started it. Along the line, it was too late. She discovered that, no, I can't do this. But I saw in her that she will be in the media. She's a very good actress. She writes very well. And, if she sits in your lecture, you are thinking she's not listening. But before you know it, she's giving you a download. If you're not here and read it, you will not miss anything. So I said to her, go and do media. Eventually, that's what she's doing right now. So we need direction, but you need to know, you need to have the knowledge for you to direct somebody. If you don't have the knowledge, without this, I can't say anything. I'll just say, okay, do whatever.
Wow.
You understand? So for me, the book is good, and it also redirects you to another book where you can find an in-depth information to whichever area you choose to go. So for me, I think it's a very beautiful book. I'm not an English person, I didn't see the mistakes.
No, what about this thing? What about the style of bringing stories to illustrate?
Yes. It will give you an encouragement. It empowers you to link yourself.
So I use a lot of stories.
Yes. That's an encouragement on its own. Because if this person did it and failed and carried on, I can do it, So it's an empowerment. For me, that's the way I see it. So it's a very nice book. Thank you very much.
In respect to this particular book we're talking about, Who I Am, which tells you about whom you are. Whom you are tells you about your existence. Why did I come into this planet Earth? And without you and I knowing why we are here, that person is as good as a dead person. So it tells you that God created you, or God created me for a purpose. And that purpose which God created me for must be fulfilled. So one thing is that it tells you what you have been created for and how you can fulfill it. It's not like putting you in suspense. I mean, suspense in 2 different ways now. Because while you are reading this book, it keeps you in suspense in the sense you want to keep on. It keeps you going and going. Even when you're supposed to sleep, you don't want to sleep. You want to see where it's leading you to. But again, keeping ones in suspense is like you have a question, but there's no answer to it. But this one, it gives you the question, then it gives you the answer, which I believe is a very good book. And again, when it comes to the issue of recommendation, I think every living, actually, I don't want to say every living thing because of the trees. But every human being is supposed to have this book because it's good for you as an adult. An adult is good for you because if you have missed it, you can easily come back and rectify. And again, too, for the children, teenagers, the young ones, is well recommended because it tells you about your future. It tells you about how you will not miss it. And having read this book, you will know that there will be less contention. Because if you know what you'll be created for, you don't need to aspire to be like, oh, I want to sing like this, or I want to read like God created for your own. Exactly. So, and you don't even need to fight over, oh, someone has taken my brethren or someone has taken your congregation. No, you know what you are being wired to do. And I think it's very helpful. Again, maybe, with your position, I think every school, since we are moving to Nigeria now, I think the secondary school, just like everyone has been talking about, it will be good for us if they can put it in the curriculum so that people can, because it's quite helpful. Then again, sir, I don't want you to be bothered about either the grammar or no grammar, because it's well explicit. The purpose of a book is for you to read and understand. I've got some books that I will read. Even by the time you keep on checking dictionary, you get lost of the meaning. So I think this one is just straightforward. You are reading it, and it's as if the man of God is talking to you. Although, fortunately, even before buying the books, I've had the knowledge, and which is what really prompted me even to get the book, because of your message on the Facebook. So I think it's well researched. Everything is okay. When it comes to the correction, there can be room for improvement. But as of today, the book is super, and I highly recommend it for everyone. Like I said before, I bought it. I've given them to my ministers. I gave one to my son, so that he will be able to know how to run with his life too.
You got them on Amazon.
I got them on Amazon.
So it's more expensive on Amazon.
Yeah, although when it comes to that, yeah, it's more expensive. But initially, I wasn't thinking of coming here. So, and the best thing for me is just to get this thing. It's expensive. I think there are different prices for it. The one I bought it for $12.99 each. £12.99 pounds, yes, each. And there is even there's part of where they are selling it, they sell it for £24. So there are different prices for this thing. So, but I decided I choose
on
this,
Amazon too.
It's Amazon or another thing. I think yeah. So there are different prices. So there are different prices for it. But sincerely, the book is good and it's highly recommended. And even where you cannot get to, this book will get there. Even after this book will still be relevant. And it tells you how which is still part of the purpose of life. For you to be relevant to your generation, for you to be relevant to the generation yet unborn. I want to salute the grace of God over your life, sir. It's well researched, it's well printed, and the quality is good. The contents, they are just super.
Then you are encouraging me. Then I'm going to get some other books to English too.
Yeah, I think it's the best thing is, yeah.
I think then I'm just going to go ahead and do it.
Yeah, because if this is Google translation, because
it's not just Google. It's not Google. It was translated through Google originally. Then it was given to editors.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4 editors worked on it. But I'm still not as satisfied as I would have written by myself.
Yeah, but the thing is that there are references to other books in it, and I'm sort of hungry for those.
Yeah,
in
they
English.
are already, but they are just not in English.
Yeah, maybe I think we should just do that, just to it will really because if you have to wait, you've written over 300 books, and to wait for that to happen may take another 5 years or something like that.
Okay.
So that will be, but to me, I appreciate the fact that you were able to prove that every human is a carrier of God, in the sense that you cited a lot of people who are not even Christians, or who were not Christians, or might not have been Christians. My best one of them is Steve Jobs, like I said the other time. And it goes to prove that the only difference between a believer and a non-believer is in where we spend eternity. So every one of us on the planet Earth can become a genius. Geniuses are not created sort of like, they don't drop from heaven. You have to become one. And so the book was able to prove that it doesn't matter who you are. If you, okay. So if you self-educate and self-develop, you carry that God in you to fulfill purpose.
Yeah, the book is a very, I think is one of the best books I've ever read. Reason being is because it essentially is kind of like a manual kit for a person for starting their life. Because, generally, you know, in school or whatever, you're not really taught this type of thing to discover your purpose, to discover why you're here. You just kind of just go through the system, go through the motion of you learn this at school, then, you know, teachers tell you this is what you're supposed to be, this is who you're supposed to be, or this is who you are. And then it's almost like a form of you know, it's like they dump mud on you, and you look in the mirror and you say, oh, this is who I am. But really, that's not who you are. Who you are is who God created you to be. You know, your talents and the things that are born inside of you. So, you know, reading this book will allow you to scoop off all that mud that's in front of you and to reveal to you who you really are, and the power and the potential that you have as a person and what you can do. And then again, for example, a champion is a person that, you know, they always win, regardless of what the situation's at hand. So if you know you're a champion, regardless of what's happened, you know, maybe, let's say, for example, in boxing, maybe you're boxing, you're fighting, you're tired, and you want to just stop. But because you're a champion, you just can't stop. You have to keep going. Or maybe your arm, your right arm is dislocated, or your shoulder is dislocated, and you're still facing your opponent. But because deep down in your heart, and you know that you're a champion, even though you've got only one arm to fight with, you have to win. You still have to find a way to win. And that is knowing who you are, because you know you're a champion. So regardless of what's happened to me, okay, my arm's hurting, blah, 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 I'm feeling this pain, you still have to win. You have to find a way to win, because that's the definition of a champion. A champion wins. Otherwise, you know, so knowing who you are will help you to be able to accomplish those things that you need to accomplish, because once you understand this is who you are, you know who you are, nothing will stand in your way. So, yeah.
You recommend it to people?
I recommend it to everyone in this whole planet. But the reason why I recommend it to everyone in this whole planet is because, you know, majority of people are doing jobs they don't like, doing jobs that make them sick, doing, you know, they're tired, their stress is disturbing their marriage. It's just, you know, and, you know, they want to have a lot of money, I'm sure, but, you know, maybe they're doing jobs that, you know, they don't have that money. But because if you do your calling, your wealth is in your calling. So, yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, I will try to be brief, because actually I came here to learn. If you watch me, I always want to sit down, not to even say anything, because because I came here to really learn. But I thank God for this very book. After reading this book, I saw that everybody is somebody, and
Everybody is somebody.
Yes,
That's
sir.
well said.
so in fact, I will recommend it for everybody, mostly those that are wanting to build a team. Okay. I will recommend it for the pastors, because you cannot be able to help somebody if you not discover yourself. And
maybe what we can actually do is to organize distribution centers for people, and so that you could actually be helping people to to discover themselves and give them training, teachings, seminars, life training, coaching, and then the books with them, and give them assignment,
Because one of the things I read in this book says the world will be losing great stuff or great things if you are not able to discover yourself. So it's really challenging, and it's waking up something in me. So it doesn't matter where you are from.
I'm thinking of where I'm from in Nigeria. A lot of people don't even know who they are at all. Because in that country, we have millions. I mean, I'm just pretty sure in Lagos, where people are just in the street, everybody just going up and down. Some of them have not even been challenged.
So this book helped me to see that we are not supposed to be defined by our outward appearance. So what we have inside the extent that we are able to know ourselves have a lot to do in our generation. And this book also helps me to understand that I have to be careful of the things that are allowed to come into me. Because anything that comes into my mind, into my system, has a lot to do with the way I approach things or interact with people.
Very good.
So this book, in fact, I will recommend it for everybody. It's what everybody has to get.
Wow.
And it will help us to build a better society. It will help us to build a better home. And those that are wanting to go into business, it's even a good foundation for you. Because if you're able to get the stuffs in this book, I think it will help you a lot and make you to make money that you are struggling to get.
Thank you. Thank you. Very good.
Okay, I'm going to give my testimony very briefly about what I got from this book specifically. I'm going to say there are 3 parts that really are helping me out and are changing my vision and my life, which is how to define who am I. That's one of the things. The other thing is how to work much better and more effectively with the belief systems, the belief and value systems, because that is very important. There are beliefs, positive beliefs and negative beliefs, but most of the people tend to think more in the negative realm than in the positive realm. I don't know why, but I think it's because we are lack of commitment. But when we really know that, we are going to be more able to think positively and act more positively. And the other part is how to treat complexes. Humanity is full of complexes, but we don't understand that. And sometimes, I'm going to say most of the times, we don't recognize that. That's part of the the rich information that is given in this book by Pastor Sunday. I have found this book so important to read it and to assimilate it that in one of my seminars going on, and I had to suspend it while I am here, I left this group. There are more than 25 people reading this book specifically.
Wow.
Right? I haven't finished the reading over there, but I told them this is a very good book and you have to read it while I am away. And there are other people, I have several people in the States that they call me to, for certain kind of counseling in terms of finances and that kind of stuff. And I have given them The Money Won't Make You Rich and this book as well, because are the books I've been reading. And I'm reading more and I'm getting more knowledgeable about what you have written, because my experience from other books, other authors, is that in this case, it resounds really a lot with me because we are talking about principles.
Amen.
People
Amen.
don't
Amen.
talk, don't think, and don't live with principles. And I think that the weaknesses in our world. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. For me, I'd say it's a book for everyone. And if a person hasn't discovered their purpose, if they don't know who they are, it's a good place to start. And if somebody's already running and doing things, coming back to this book or coming back to this topic will help you reorganize your life to become more productive. Will help you reorganize your life so that you become more productive. Yes, if a person, many people out there doing jobs, doing things they're not called for. One of the things that Pastor says in the book is that until you find who you are, until you find your gifts, you'll remain poor. You can only excel in the area that you've been created for. So, so you can come to this book. There are lots of exercises, which I haven't been able to go through because I've got it on the Kindle, so you can get it on the Kindle as well. So I'm looking forward to going through the exercises to get more benefit from the book. What I also found quite helpful were the stories, because sometimes, for instance, you might you might think you know who you are. You might know that you might have found an aspect of your purpose. But what I found was it helped me fine-tune. It helped me refocus or fine-tune some walk in alignment or get better alignment with who I am and what my purpose is. And the stories were so helpful. Pastor put a lot of biographies in there because for me, it's the stories that were quite helpful were the entrepreneurial ones because so the entrepreneurial stories were more helpful for me because I could see how there were two particular people, how they traced their journey. Because sometimes you want to do something, but you haven't seen anyone do it. So when you read a story, the steps they took, the blunders that happened, then you're able. Okay, they did this. They did this.
Like models, right?
Yes. So that I found very, very valuable. And what I also did was I was reading it. I wasn't reading it in those three parts. I wasn't reading it like that. I was reading it to okay, what don't I know? So I was picking up bits which I have principles that I wasn't already applying in my life. And what I'd say is that this book will make you highly effective if you pick up, if there are loads of principles in there, that if you pick them out and begin to apply them to your life, they will make you a highly effective person. And I would also say that, from coming here, one of the things that's happening to me on the inside is I'm becoming a highly effective person. Thank you.
And that is what this whole thing, HMT, is set out to do, to make you more organized and more effective. All right. Do you want to go to the code before we start the classes? Or you are fine? Very fine now? So we can just keep on going? Yes, sir. Or you need the refreshment? Can just walk around here? Okay, let's stand. What code is better? Okay, who wants to go to the code can go. Who wants to remain can remain. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Let's go to the code. Pastor, sufficient. Go and talk to the microphone.
Just a very brief break. 1 to 2 minutes. People need to walk around before we start the wonderful topic for today. As you can see, all the while, people have been talking about what they learned from the book, Who Am I? People have been talking about what they learned from the book, Who Am I? We've not said the topic for today. It's going to be an awesome time with Pastor today. I can promise you that. So stay put. If you need to walk around too and do some stretching as they are stretching here, you can do that. And share the link. Invite your friends. Let them know that in the next few minutes, Pastor is going to be back on to teach the topic of today. And it's going to be very amazing. Would I use that word amazing? Promising? Educative? Great? Awesome? Whatever you want to classify it, but it's going to be an information you will need for life. So the book we've been talking about since, it's Who Am I? As for me, being a pastor, and I've been talking to youth for some time, most of the major question people have is how to discover who they are. They will tell you, I've read a lot of books on purpose, but I seem not to understand. I don't know my purpose. I don't know what to do. I don't know my calling. I've not found myself. If you're in that situation and you're struggling to actually discover who you are, you've read a lot of books and you've not been able to get that across, you've not settled that with yourself yet, you're still doing different things here and there, but you're not convinced of what your purpose is, or you don't know how to go about it, this is the book for you. But if you've also discovered who you are provincially, but you don't know how to help others do so, this is also the book for you. When you read this book, you'll be able to help every other person discover who they are. So it's a book for you. You could get it on Amazon. For those in Africa, Nigeria to be specific, you can get it on okadabooks.com. So that's the book, you know, they've been discussing. It's not just that people want to talk, but the book has been an amazing one. I have read the book. It's good for everyone. So today, as the people will go in to sit down, we are going to go in straight into the HMT teaching. So you could alert your friends. If there are some people that have been online and they left, let them know that in 2 minutes, the teaching will be starting proper for HMT, and you don't want to miss that session. It's going to be an awesome time with Pastor. It's a topic you will want to hear about. It's a topic you want to know. It's a topic you will need to run your race in life. I can promise you that. So, stay put with us for this period that Pastor is going to be teaching this series. HMT, for the first time, these major teachings are being streamed. So you're actually having this thing free at the comfort of your house. This is what people paid from different parts of the world. So be part of in Ukraine, and Pastor is giving it to you on a platter of gold. The only thing we're asking of you to do now is to share the link, invite your friends so other people could actually benefit from it as you are benefiting from it now. You have to take advantage of this opportunity and join us live to benefit from this awesome time in HMT. And I bet you will never regret you did, because the information you're going to be getting from this teaching, I don't really know where you would have gotten the same information. Guys, we are live. They need to hear me. Thank you. So I don't know where you could get such informations from, basically. Very few people might have access to those informations. That's if they do, like I said yesterday, most times we pay huge amounts of money for different seminars, and we don't get quarter of what we are actually looking for from those seminars. But here, Pastor is packing so much information for us. And guess what? It's free of charge. So all you need to do is to sit down, concentrate, reduce distraction, and get everything you need to get. If I were you, I would take my notebook and record. So, yeah, Pastor, I think we're ready. Please sit down and get ready. Pastor is about teaching now. Oh, sorry, you have that.
Tell him to put something on top.
What is that?
Pin it to the top. So this is the first one that is on top. You lost one. Okay, put on the teaching. Why is the microphone is going to read today? Huh? Who wants to be reading? Who has a big voice? You can read. Okay, you have to sit in front then. Or there or here. But your voice sometimes could be low. So, but this time it has to be big and loud. That's what we need now. Okay, you put off the light. Is it off already? Okay. Yes, please.
Right. The most important principle to accomplish your goal.
Right. So that's the topic for today. What is the most important principle that will help you attain or accomplish your goal?
Number one, never base your decisions on your limited resources. Even if you don't have anything, you can fulfill any dream. If you cannot see the solution, it means you've not found it in your head yet. Never leave your dream just because you think you do not have something to start fulfilling it.
Okay. Now, there are a few principles here that you need to get. The most important truth here is never base decision on your limited resources. never come to the conclusion that you cannot do something or you cannot attain any goal or something is impossible. Why do we normally think that something is impossible for us to do or we cannot do something? It's mainly based on the fact that we think I don't have one resource or the other. Well, the fact that you don't have a resource or you don't have one thing or the other is not an argument as far as I'm concerned. Nothing is strong enough to stop you from fulfilling your goal or vision. And especially when you are thinking that it's just for lack of the resource that you think you cannot accomplish your goal, that is just because it's because of what you don't know. Lack of resource is not an argument strong enough for you not to fulfill your goal. And the reason why you think that lack of resource is an argument strong enough is because of limitation of your mind. It's because of what you don't know. So that's why we're saying, if you don't have anything you can, if you think that you cannot do, even if you don't have anything, you can fulfill any dream. Now stop and ponder on that. Even if you don't have anything, you can still fulfill your dream. Who was here yesterday when I spoke about systems? And I said, even if you don't have anything, you only have you. Even if you are the only resource, you can still fulfill your goal. For you now, that begins to make sense. But for it to really make sense, you need to connect what I taught yesterday and this statement. You need to connect the two together. Because then you have to remember the picture that I said, okay, assuming even you don't have God and you are just by yourself, but you already have one resource, which is time, and you have yourself, that is enough for you to attain any goal. So you have to go back to what we taught and say, oh yeah, there is nothing that should stop you from attaining any goal. It depends on what you understand, what your understanding is. So then it says, if you cannot see the solution, so if you have a goal or have a task ahead of you and you are saying, I can't see any solution, I can't see the way forward, either because you don't have connections or you don't have money, and you think you have an argument, you think you have an excuse, because I don't have money, I don't have connection. It is still not the lack of money that's to blame. It is still not lack of the connection that is to blame. The only thing to blame is that there is something you don't know. There are some tricks, some understanding, some insight that you don't have. That is why you are struggling. If you cannot see the solution, it means you have not found it in your head. You don't have understanding. There is no limitation in life apart from the limitation of the mind. The only limitation you have in life is the limitation of your mind. What you know and what you don't know. What you understand and what you don't understand. So, conclusion, therefore, never leave your dream. Never abandon your dream just because you think you do not have something to fulfill it. That is not an argument. Go look for knowledge. Go look for insight. And insight, understanding, dream will attract everything else. The goal, understanding, insight will attract the money, the resource, and every other thing. Go ahead. Much that critical.
You will never have everything necessary to fulfill your dream. Never base your decisions depending on what you have at the moment. Whatever you have, it will never be enough to fulfill your dream.
Okay, this is the second truth you must know in fulfilling your goals and dreams. Just assume ahead of time, and this is for everybody. If you say, okay, I don't have enough resources to do what I need to do, that is just, you are in a good company. That is just the way it's supposed to be. And that is the way it is for everybody. No human being ever has all that they need to fulfill their dream at the very beginning of that dream. Nobody starts out with ready-made provision. It never happens. It's an illusion to think like that. But sometimes that's what we want to think. That is what we are expecting. We are expecting for everything to be ready, for every provision to be there, for every resource to be available, then I'll be ready to go and do it. It doesn't happen. God just makes it to happen like that. That you will not have everything. You will never ever have everything ready. And the reason why is because you need to depend on God. You need to be able to trust God. You need to be able to have faith. You know, a lot of other factors why you will not have everything ready just right now. So you will not have everything ready. So my question is there anybody here that wants to do anything, but you don't really have everything you need ready yet? Yes. You are in good company. That is where it starts. That is normal. That's the way it's supposed to be. Don't be scared because of that. Don't let that scare you. Don't let that think don't let that make you think that then is an excuse why you should not do it, because no. Everybody that have done anything, they all started from the same place where they never had enough resources or any resource to do what they want to do. At least you will never have everything you need to accomplish your goal. But you have to start first with whatever you have. Even if whatever you have is just you, or your knowledge, or your skill. But you have to start first with what you have before everything else comes. So that's normal. Don't stop because you don't have everything you need for the fulfillment right now. Next one.
Number 3, desire in your heart. If God gives a desire, a vision in your heart, it is a sign that this matter has been completed before God.
So if you don't have any reasons to accomplish the dream and the goal, what then makes you to know that you can even begin to start in the first place, to move ahead? At least desire. If you have as little as desire, but if you have more than desire, you have passion, wow, you are so equipped. You are already rich. If you have more than desire and you have willingness, wow, you are a big guy. If you have more than desire and you have, burden, ooh, that is huge. But even if what you have is as little, as small, as just desire, that's enough for you to be able to do anything you want in life. I don't know if you got that. Okay, let's go.
Number 4, when God gives a vision, He simultaneously releases necessary resources.
So if that desire is already in your heart, don't worry. The resource is already released somewhere. The only difference is it's not released to your hands, but it's already released somewhere. Every time God releases a vision or a word or a goal or a dream from heaven, at the same time, simultaneously, He releases the resource that is necessary to accomplish that dream, but He doesn't release them in one hand. So you are thinking that there is no resource, but it is released, but it's not released in your hand. For example, God is saying, go and restore Nigeria. Go and, bring national transformation. I have the vision. At the same time He's releasing that vision, He's releasing a resource in somebody else's hands that I don't even know yet. Or that I know, but I don't know. But somebody's He releases the two. So if God is telling you right now, go minister to the youth and to the young girls in your city or in your country, and you are saying, but I don't have anybody to help me, no connection. He has released that same body on another person's heart with all other resources and connection and everything that you need. Only they are scattered. So that's why you need to share the vision. You need to begin to talk about what you want to do. You need to raise your voice about it. You need to so that other people who are having similar burden and to whom the resources have been released or the body have been released, they will connect with you. You all come together. But it's released at the same time. The vision and the provision are released at the same time, only in different hands. I don't know if you are getting it. Okay, let's go.
Process. Number 1.
So how is that done? Let's go through the process. How to connect between the vision and the provision.
Number 1, define the task or goal. 2.
Wait. So what you need to do, how do you go from you having a desire or a burden or a vision to finding the resources to accomplishing it? Okay, I have a desire to do something. How do I move from here to bringing it to pass? I just have an idea. How do I move from idea to implementation, to really actualization? Or I have just the passion. How does the passion becomes manifestation? I don't have the resource. How do I get the resource and all that? How do I? So that is the process. Let's go through the process now. So the first thing you must do is that's your passion or that's your desire. You must convert it into a concrete goal, a concrete task, or a concrete vision. So that's your desire. Package it, convert it into a specific assignment, agenda, purpose, goal, mission, task. Define it. Define that passion. Give definition to that desire. Make it concrete. Number 2.
Number 2, define the preliminary time limits.
Just like yesterday, I told you yesterday, tell yourself or answer the question, between what time and what time do I want this to be accomplished? Okay, if my desire is to reach out to the girls in Dublin or in Ireland, I want to be able to reach out to at least 100 of them. Do I want to do that for the rest of my life, to spend 40 years of my life trying to get 100 of them? Or I want to get 100 within a year or within a month. So find a time limit for the passion and for the desire that you have in your heart. Next point.
Number 3, conduct a detailed research of the matter and topic.
So now that you have defined the assignment and the task that you want to do, and now that you have defined the time limit or the scope of the time that you want to do it, now go to work. Go to work. Where do you go to work? Go to work on the subject matter. You have the definition. You know what you want to do. Go just on Google. Girls in Norway, in Dublin. What are their problems? What are their challenges? Why do they behave like this? Just go on research. Google is now available. You don't need to go to the library or anything. Just go to your computer, so research everything, and make sure that you get to the bottom of the matter. Make sure that you research and get all information about that subject matter, everything that has ever been written, everything that could be dug out, go and dig them out. And make sure that you are well informed. And you become a master of the trade. You know exactly what you are talking about. You know the subject matter. So you know what they need and you know what you could do to help them. Yes, please.
Number 4, write out a step-by-step detailed system to reach your goal.
Okay, now that you know all this information about this problem, let's say the problem about women, about girls in Dublin. Now you say, okay, now you have all the information. Then you put them in a systematic way. You say, okay, there are 350,000 girls between the age of 18 and 25 in Denmark. And 10% of them have this problem. 20% of them have this problem. 30% of them have this problem or that. Where do we find them? They are all normally in the pub, or they are normally in the discotheque, or they are on weekends here, or they are somewhere. 20% of them are in schools, 30% of them are in colleges, and this is where they could be found. Okay, what are the things that interest them? How can I reach out to them? What do they like to talk about? This. So you create a system about that problem. You put them in concrete, like I showed you yesterday. I already showed you yesterday how to build system. So build system around that subject and around that problem. Yes.
The study conducted on students in a Harvard MBA program. The students were asked, have you set clear written goals for your future and made plans to accomplish them? It was recorded that only 3% of the graduates had reading goals and plans. 13% had goals, but they were not in writing. And a whopping 84% had no specific goals at all.
Okay, I'm sure so all of you are familiar with this information, right? Okay, so this is an information about, maybe it's Harvard, maybe it's not true, or it's not true. But the fact is, we want to just say that normally, this is what is normally attainable in in most places. Only 3% of people have their vision, goals, aspirations written down. 3%. Then 13% of those people have their goals in their mind, but they don't have it written down. 3% have it written down. Even in our place now, where we are now, maybe 3% have written it down. Maybe they have not even written it down. But the ones that are really good, 3% are the ones who have it cemented, written down, unless they have been trained. Otherwise, 13%, they have a goal in their mind. So only 3 plus 13, 16% have goals at all, have concrete goals and mission. 16%. And 84%, they don't even have any goal or any vision. They are just going to school. And this is Harvard. Harvard is where the best go to. So they think, and the reason is because they are thinking about admission. I just need admission. And I got a good admission. I got admission to the best school. And their thinking is, as soon as I finish this school, as long as I finish, I'll get a job. So it's about a job. It's not about creating their own lives. It's not about being the owner of life. You see, what I spoke about yesterday, there are people who are just surviving. They don't even go to Harvard. They don't even strive for anything. Then there are some people who know that, you are supposed to strive for, they know some principles. So even from those people who know some principles, they are in Harvard. But then they're still thinking about getting a job and getting a good salary. And that is not life. But the people who are really alive, who are in charge of life, who are the drivers, who are what do we call it, who are in control, who are managing life, who rule over life, who are steering life, that's the highest level of people. And those people are the people who don't just have some aspirations and dreams in their mind, but they are the people who have concrete, written down vision, mission, goals, and strategies to get there. Many people, most people in the world, they might even have an idea that they want to become something, but they don't have strategies of how to become whoever they want to become written down. Not just the dream in their written down, but strategies of getting there. And that's where we are going to with you. So to be able to actually be in the top 3% of the world that don't just have some vision and aspiration, but have strategies on how to become and get there. So even if you have just that, you are already going from 84% of the world to 3%. Yes.
And this thing is MBA, not even first.
This is not even first degree. This is MBA.
10 years later, the findings were as follows. 13% of students who had goals were earning, on average, twice as much as the 84% who had no goals at all.
So even though this 13% that we are talking about, they didn't even write it down. They didn't even write the goals down, but still look at the result. They were earning twice. So we are looking at those people and say, my son is a good something, graduate, is finished, immediately he finished, he got a good job, and he's in top managerial in a bank. He's a manager in a bank, or he's in a good place. He's going really good. We are praising them. We are thinking they are doing really good because he has a vision. He already knew what he wanted from secondary school. He's finding very passionate. He studied very well. These are the people we talk good about. He didn't just get a job. He's very top. He's going. He's doing. We are praising him. He's a champion. Those are the people we really meet. The 13%. Those people who get it going for them, who have a vision, who we don't see them normally. We hardly see this 13%. And we think they are doing well. And they are doing well. They're getting more. But you see, the whole world is measuring people by their earnings. The whole world is measuring people by what they earn. Wow. You got that job? Wow. How much? 10,000 a month? Wow. And that is the height of everybody's aspiration. Wow. That kind of stuff. Wow, you are lucky. Wow. How can I get there? Is there any way to get there? That's what we are thinking. That's the highest life. And that is the highest living. Because those people have aspirations. They have dreams. They have goals. They have passion. But that's just 13% of people. These are the out of the trained ones. Or these are the good ones. These are the prepared ones. If you are talking about just ordinary secondary school graduates or university graduates, you don't even have that number. You don't even have 13%. But even this 13%, I want to tell you, for me, is failure. Because this is 13% out of people, out of ordinary people who are just living regular life. Now, this 13%, there are no more biomasses. They are successful people. But if you just want to be successful, that's good for you. But we are not just here about being successful. We are about ruling and reigning in life. We are about managing life, being in charge of life, and being able to control life. And if that is the height you want to go to, then it's not just good for you. It's not good enough for you to get a good job and a good paying salary. It's not good enough for you just to have some aspirations and some visions. We are now talking about you being able to picture the future that you want. Not just have it written down, but explicitly explained. The path to it charted out. And 75% of the plans and the way to get there is already written down. Then you become in the top 3% of the best people in the world. But most people get satisfied at the stage of getting good pay, good salary, and being higher than their mates. If that's what you want, good job, good salary, but be a slave forever. Good for you, but I don't think it's good enough for the kingdom. Let's continue.
Number 5, look for the experience of other people.
Let's go back to where we were. Read that again before we continue. Yes.
10 years later, the findings were as follows. 13% of students who had goals were earning on average twice as much as the 84% who had no goals at all.
You got that right, yes? Okay, then let's see what happens to the 3%.
3% of students who had clear written goals were earning on average.
Now, what is the difference between 13% and 3%?
They had written goals.
Ah?
Clear written goals.
No, I can't hear. Of course, not just the goal. The word is goal, written goal.
Clear.
But what that really means is the charted path, systematic way. The goals are written, but that is not even the big thing. But what we told you yesterday, how to go from the goals to achieving it. Systems. That is the big deal. Not just saying, okay, I want to become a lawyer, I write that, I want that. That's why it doesn't do anything. But the system. So what now? What is the immediate result we see? Pardon me, what is the immediate result we see out of that for those 3% who had their goal well written down?
3% of students who had clear written goals were earning on average 10 times as much as the other 97% put together.
Can you see? Just in salary alone. But we are not even talking about the destiny they attain. And we're not even talking about the fact that they are the ones who control and rule in life eventually. But just let's even talk about reward, external reward alone. They are getting 10 times higher. You see, the ones who had vision, just had vision and aspiration, they were having 2 times higher than the 84%. But the ones who had everything shuttered out, they are having 10 times more than both of them, both the 13% and the 87%. Yes. So you cannot emphasize enough the role of systems. Go ahead, please.
Number 5, for the experience of other people, you must find. Look for the experience of other people. You must find all those who have.
So after building systems, so you remember we are going through a process of going from just having desire to having everything accomplished. So we have mentioned a few points, and the last point we mentioned was that build a system. Now, do a research, build a system. After the research and after the system, then we started by saying, give it a definition what you want. Then we went and say, give it a time limit. Then we said, go and do a research. Then we said, go and build a system for it. Then after that system now, the next thing you are going to do, look for people who have done it before or who have done similar things. That is the next point. Go and look for the experience of people who have been there before. They are all over the world. If you want to become a billionaire, for example, there are a lot of people who have become millionaires before. If you want to become a musical director, for example, there are a lot of people who have become musical directors before. If you want to become a producer, there are a lot of people who have become producers before. Go study at least 100 to 1,000 of them, as many as you can get. Get all their secrets and make them your own. Make those secrets become your own secrets. By the time you combine the secret of Donald Trump and the secret of Bill Gates and the secret of Warren Buffett, 3 secrets in one person, you're already making yourself a place for yourself. Yep. Next point.
Number 6, write out a detailed plan. Use the following: brainstorm, teamwork, a written out step-by-step process, business plan, and calculations.
Okay. So once you have studied what makes those people tick, and once you have studied their secrets, put all those secrets, all those information you've gathered, from other people, the lessons and the secrets, put them together and, analyze, organize a brainstorming session for yourself or for your team members or for your friends. Sit down together with them and say, okay, how can we apply this? How can we apply this? This is what this person did. This is what that person did. Which one will go for us better? That's what you do. You even do that brainstorming for yourself to be able to come to the right, the best conclusions. Number 2, build a team. And always use brainstorming as a method of working with your team. Next point you do. Number 3, always have goals cut to step by step something. One stage by stage. This is what you want to do for the first 1 month, or for the first 1 quarter, for the first 1 year, for the first 5 years, for the first 10 years, or something like step by step. Then submit them and reduce them to business plans. With figures. Always make use of figures, calculations, statistics. Let 2 plus 2 be 4. If 2 plus 2 is becoming 5, you are in trouble. Next point.
Number 7, make a model, a prototype, a breadboard model. Solve the problem in a small scale.
What does that mean? For example, you want to do you want to build 200 orphanages, a system, a holistic system of resolving orphanage problem, homeless problem, or problem for fatherless children. But you cannot start with 200. Start with little one in your house or somewhere. Start to build a model. Just like we have to have a model for the car before we do them on series, I'll produce them in series. Just anything you plan to do, start it out in a small scale first. It's just like this, my daily broadcast. You know what I started to do first? just took the camera. Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Sunday here. Go show them my house. Go show them my. Just try things out first. Do a prototype. Always start with a model. Create a model. Create a module, a prototype, and then you duplicate. It will be easier to duplicate after that. Next point.
Number 8, make presentation materials. Information, indicate the problem, number 1. Number 2, demonstrate the model. Number 3, describe advantages and budget.
Okay, what does that mean? Now that you have a module or a prototype or miniature of what you want to do, package it in a presentable way. Make presentation of it, and so that you'll be able to sell yourself. You remember I told you that the vision that God gave you, when he gave you that vision or that burden, he released the resources, but those resources are in the hands of other people. He also released co-workers and people who might be able to co-work with you or have a similar passion or be able to come. People who are going to connect with that vision, they are also having that same passion, burden, everything. He's living in them. But you don't know each other. You are all in different places. So that's why you need a system of publicity and a system of marketing, a system of, publicity, advertisement, marketing. You need to begin to publicize your vision. Talk about yourself. Talk about your passion. So you need to package everything, explain everything. So explain the problem. That's number 1. Number 2, tell them you already have a module. Let them know that you already have a module. You know what you're talking about. Describe, the subject to them and tell them why these things must be resolved. The advantages of solving that problem. What is going to cost you? Next page. Why you need partners.
Number 9, find interested parties, philanthropists.
So after you have packaged that, either it's as a video package presentation, or it's a brochure presentation, or it's a tract presentation, or it's a PDF presentation, or any kind of presentation you want to do, then make a list. Do another research. You have to make a list of people who will be interested in that subject. This could be philanthropists, this could be NGOs, this could be enterprises, this could be businesses, this could be politicians, this could be companies, industries. Make a list like 1,000, 2,000 of different organizations or structures that might be interested in that, and just send them all those your presentations and brochures and things that you have done. Or go and publicize to them. Are you following me? Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
Number 10.
So now let's stop before you go to number 10. So are you now seeing how we are moving closer from me just having vision or goal or burden into now connecting with different people? So that is how you bring from nothing, from having nothing, just a desire, to begin to set up a whole system that is joining you with so many people all over the world, and you are already. So don't ever believe that because you don't have resources, don't ever believe that because you don't have anything, that should stop you from accomplishing any goal that you want to accomplish. But the point I'm trying to make here is that the fact that you don't have something, or something is unavailable to you, or resources are not there, is not an excuse not to do something. That if you know, it depends on what you know or what you don't know. Now I'm giving you knowledge. I'm giving you understanding how to go from having nothing into doing anything you want to do, thanks to the understanding you are now having. You are having insight. You are having understanding. You are being given instruction that you could actually do everything despite the fact that you don't have anything at hand. Thanks to what you know. And that goes back to what I said yesterday, that you are your best resource. What you know. You have built content in yourself. You have built capacity in yourself. What is that capacity? Knowledge, insight, wisdom. That is your biggest resource. That resource will attract all other resources. Are you following? Okay, let's go now.
Number 10, PR. Spread the
Public relations. So build a public relations mechanism. Blast it. blast it everywhere.
Spread the information about the activities of your organization.
Yes.
Number 11, bring the paperwork.
Sorry, let me talk to people who are watching us on Facebook. You know, you are learning some things now. If you have not, for you to be able to get a copy of this teaching, you need to share the link. So under the video, you see you have a share button. So go and share the button. Go and share the link. If you share it, if you press the share button, then you will be able to have a copy of this teaching for yourself. So that way you'll be able to go back to it over and over again. If you don't share it, you don't get a copy of it. So go and press the share button right now so that you don't forget. Because you might want to go. This is the kind of teaching that you don't just listen to one time. You want to go over it again and again. And you might want to go and share it or press it, share it and distribute it to other people. So if you are watching by Facebook now, or even if you are here, make sure you go share the link, then you'll be able to refer back to it later on.
Number 11, bring the paperwork to God. You need to bring your paperwork, persuasions, business plan to God. God needs to see your strong desire and dedication.
What that means is that, after you have done your part, people say, I don't believe in miracles. I do. But you must do your part first. Do everything that depends on you. You have done everything humanly possible. Only after you have done everything humanly possible from your end, then you should have the conscience of going to God and say, now, God, you see, I've done my best. I've done exactly everything that could be possible. I've played my own part. Then you could know that now there is a basis for God to come forward and comfort for you and come true for you. Are you getting me? Don't just sit down without doing anything in the first place and say you are waiting for resources or you are waiting for miracles or you are waiting for... That's why a lot of our prayers are not answered. Do your best before you now begin to put everything on God's shoulder. Okay.
Number 12, prove your faith to God. You must show insane, zealous confidence in success.
Faith. And what faith means is that you are not just waiting, you didn't just pray again and waiting for God and say, okay, God, now I've prayed, I've done my part, I'm praying, I'm waiting, I'm sitting down. You must step out in faith. Faith without works is dead. So you are praying, you've handed everything over to God, step out and move, begin to do something. When you take one step, God will take 20 steps to your sides. Yes.
Prove your ability to work. Number 13, readiness to do everything, even the impossible from your side. So
you are not just stepping out, but just being, you remember what I told you yesterday about absolute commitment, about the egg? The egg doesn't get cooked until it is absolute, 100% commitment. It has to be 100 degrees. So go and give it the best shot. Go and try your best. Work as if your life depends on it. Work as if there is no God at all on earth. As if everything depends on your work. And then trust God as if you didn't work at all. As if everything depends on God.
Number 14. Expect a miracle.
Now you are qualified for a miracle. Now you are qualified for a miracle. Now you are qualified for a miracle.
So there's a place for miracles.
Okay, can you read that?
Yeah, it is possible.
No, start from the beginning.
14, expect a miracle. It is possible only when you've done everything
necessary. So miracle
necessary.
Is possible only
when you've done everything necessary.
Okay.
Study conducted, a system built.
So you have studied, you have built system, you have done everything from your side, you are working hard, then you can expect a miracle now. Yeah, go ahead.
Number 15, prove to God that all work has been done.
Yes.
You know everything on the subject.
Yes.
You have developed a system.
Yes. Go ahead.
Number 15.
Again, for people who are watching us, go and press the share button to get a copy of this message. Go and share the link. That's the only way for you to get a copy. So we are finishing this subject now. And we are going to take 2 minutes break. And we are going to deal with the second subject. All right. But we are not going to go out. The break is going to be in testimony. So put on the light. Not 2 minutes, but maybe 10 minutes. Put on the light. And I want to hear back from you the response. I want to hear your responses. If you don't come forth, you are going to all stand. So what did you get from these subjects? From this?
What I got, I still want to refer to a Bible passage that says, my people perish because they lack knowledge.
Please open the.
Because most of us, most people start from the miracle.
Without doing anything.
Without doing anything. We start from the miracle without doing anything, and we expect things to happen. But it's not so. There are no systems in place. There's no research done. You don't
just want God to come out for you and
do. And
especially if you have some anointed men of God.
Yeah.
Who will say, today, by the grace of, before the end of this month.
Yes.
Some people will experience some miracles.
Yes.
Or you should bring the prophet offering.
Sow
some seed.
Yeah. And majority of people are in that boat, are in that state. So I continue to
Wahala day.
I continue to get knowledge from here every day. And, I pray that we keep, those of us here that are listening, we should, try as much as we can to give this out to people, to tell people that, hard work pays. We have to work hard. We have to read. We have to study, especially the people of my type, my color, they should rely on study. All these are principles of God. We cannot leave it out. We have to work hard so that we can achieve.
Somebody told me that when you do this, that you don't have faith.
Faith. Work. Faith will not, so.
Faith without work is dead.
No.
What I got from this this teaching is I need to work very hard. As we can see, Jesus worked very hard when he was on earth. So we as a believer, we shouldn't expect God to do everything for us. God expects us to do, and then he can come and do something for us.
Yep.
So work hard is very important in whatever we're doing or whatever you want to do. Work hard. Let God see that you are working hard. You have sleepless nights, and then God will come out for you.
Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Sane. I think none of us have an excuse anymore achieving any goal that we want to achieve in life.
Yes.
Everything's been written. In 5 years, you are in the same place you are right now. This is your own fault because you are not willing to pay the price to get to where you want to get. You expect a miracle without putting in the work.
Thank you. So no excuse. Shade, you want to join on?
Okay. I hear people saying work hard. I mean, I've worked hard, and I know a lot of people who have worked hard.
But this
and
is work smart, right?
Exactly. You know, where you work hard and there's no results because there's no system. You know, there are no rail tracks. You're working hard and you're in the same spot.
Okay.
You know, so yes, you work hard.
So what's the difference between what we spoke about today and just work hard? You are
There's
right.
a system, there's a process. And I didn't have the process, and that's what I came for. I didn't know what the process was. I knew, and maybe know a bit, but you don't even know what you're missing. You know, yeah. So I think it's working smart, not just hard. Yeah, work smart, get your system, and work it.
That's interesting. That's a very good observation. Very good observation.
One of the things I gained from this lesson is a lot of people, me specifically, because I've been doing it for such a long time, is I've always thought, oh, what's God's perfect will for me? Or what's the one thing that God wants me to do? Or what, out of all the things that I desire, which one is God asking me to go for? And I think today I learned that just as long as God has placed a desire in you, that's enough for you to go forward with any vision or with any plan, and you can do all of them. There's not just a perfect plan. Anything that you desire can be accomplished.
Excellent. So this particular teaching, how does it communicate that thing you just said now?
You specifically said that's like you are the best resource. So even if you just have yourself, that's enough to do whatever you desire to do. So I think that's where it was communicated. And it's just, I thought that you could possibly only do one thing in life, but the truth is that you can do as many as long as you've got the capacity to take it.
Not to take it,
Yeah.
you don't have to take it, to build systems
Yeah.
for it.
Okay.
The system will take it.
Yeah.
Just take your time, build the system for it. You don't need to always rely on your own strength or your own capacity. If you will be going to rely on your own strength and capacity, it will be like what that sister said, working hard. And that's depending on your own strength. But when you build systems, you don't depend on your own strength anymore. Mechanisms, rail tracks work for you. It's like saying carrying the load. How many kilograms, how many tons will you carry on your head? But if you're using the railway and you have the tracks, railway can carry tons. That's what system does. It's using railway to carry goods as against using Awusas to carry goods. Using, human beings to carry goods. Hey, Ashade, before you go, are you already regretting that you came by yourself without your husband?
I'm sure
because it's going to be tough for you to, I don't know how you are going to pass this across. I just don't know. It's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy. Even not, just in one day, even in a week or even in a month. Because when you get home, a lot of distractions, and you might not have the same discipline even to be able to sit your husband down or your wife down, or this is
How have you been doing it with your wife? Maybe that would help you.
Okay.
Because she couldn't take time off.
You say, tell us.
No,
Okay.
Yeah.
You can go at all.
Okay.
Give him the microphone.
Because my wife is not here, all the assignments that I'm doing here, the ones that I'm sending in to you guys, I'm copying in my wife in it, and I'm sending all the answers and what I've been doing to her, so she's aware of what's happening, and I'm also giving her the links.
How can she be aware just getting the assignment and the answers without the lectures?
Well, we've got the lectures recorded, and it will be given
She's following the recordings?
Not only following that, but we'll also be given the full recording of all the
So you
sessions,
take
which
that
means,
back to her?
and we'll watch it again, and I'll explain everything to her as well, to make sure that we are both on the same page, that we synergize our movement to the future.
So you are communicating with her every day?
That's correct, yeah. Every day, and submitting my assignment, I make sure that she knows what I've done, and I send my notes to her as well. So she's got a quick understanding, but the full explanation will come as going through when I go back.
So you don't just send the assignment then, and you don't just send the answer and the questions, but you are sending your notes as
That's
well.
correct, yeah, the notes, the questions, and the answers.
Ah, very good. And then you have the videos.
And the Facebook as well, yeah.
Okay. You got it? Is that helpful? Yes. Okay. So, okay. Let's say if you are at home and on Facebook or watching, just for you to know that we care about you as well, make sure you first of all share those and get a copy for yourself, and then the people here who are going through this HMT might be able to help you somehow if you can connect with them, they might give you the other materials after all. So we have the second class. The second teaching today is going to be called Make Your Goals Clear for Achievement. Make your goals clear for achievement. Because you people say you came here to learn to function effectively, to learn to really attain goals and make things happen. Okay, rather than just preaching.
Exactly.
But how to actually make things happen.
Yeah. Make your goals clear for achievements.
Next point.
Setting goals is not enough. Establish clear ways to achieve them. The most important part in setting a goal is its achievements.
Because if you're not going to achieve them, what is the good in you setting them up? Okay.
The necessary steps to set a clear goal.
Step by step. We're going to be giving you step by step steps. Okay. Go ahead.
Number 1, make a clear description of your dream, goal, and desire.
You already know how to do that, right? Okay. Now, stop. Now what we are going to do is I'm going to ask you, one of you or two of you, to come and describe the importance of goal setting from this same story of the Harvard students. So put on the light, and we will need one or two or maybe three of you to tell. We're not going to repeat them, but we want you to come and repeat, because I've already said that in the previous class, and I'm intentionally repeating that here so that I will know what is your catch, what you got from that. What are the key principles from that story, the Harvard MBA student story, in goal setting that help them to what makes the difference in them? Those are three groups of people who want to help us. Please come. I need three people. Three people. Rise. 1, 2, 3. Who is the first person? Otherwise, I will ask all of you to stand now. Yes.
Yes, I've realized from that there is something magical about...
Make your microphone this way.
There's something magical about setting goals and having a system in place. Because the 3% that had a clear goal set up with a system to implement.
Don't just start by saying the 3%. Tell us as if we've never heard the story before. So, start from 100%.
Okay, so this research was conducted on MBA students
now that's good.
Harvard
That's the way
University.
to do it.
And out of the total, only 3% had a clear written down goals with a system to achieve. 13% had goals, however, they didn't have it written down. And then the majority, 84%, had no clue. They didn't have any goals. So their aim was to go through the course, graduate, have their masters, and then go and look for a job.
Is that the way it is in real life?
I think it's a representative of what real life is about. Yeah. I will support that. I will concur with that, because this was done with students who we will all expect to have goals set and then have a system to implement, because they are in a top university in the world, and MBA is, top of all the highly sought after courses at universities. So we can guess what will happen to the average person who doesn't go to university. So I think it's at worst we can say it is a good representative.
Okay.
So looking at, I don't know, but from my understanding, I think those 3% were better. They were more they were happier, they were more fulfilled. But if we are looking at objective, measurable things, I think earnings, was what was used. And in terms of earnings, the 13% who had written down their goals were earning two times those who didn't have their goals written down.
Maybe not necessarily wrote them down, but they at least had them. They had these goals, the aspirations. Yeah, they were earning twice. Yes.
But the 3% who had written down their goals with a system to
achievable goals.
Yeah, they were able to attain 10 times that of those who didn't have their goals.
Okay. But then you have to emphasize to us, what are the importance? What are the deficiencies? What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages in each? Why those differences in results?
Okay, we've heard about the 3 segments, the 84, the 13, and the 3%. Now, just to go back to what we have used, or prior to coming here, I probably will definitely be in the 84%. Which means you had the desire, you've heard, but didn't take down much notes. As much as you think you have retained, by the time it comes to getting back to implementation, things are not as, one, you will not even have the passion which you had at the point in time. So
closer, your microphone closer. Yeah.
So things, you're not as hot. By the time you want to even put things down, and if you try to make the effort, you're not going to get everything down. The 13% that noted things were successful in every term without really knowing that we're supposed to be sons of men on earth as to, get proper breakthrough. So in terms of worldly things, we'll say, yes, they were successful, but they did make some effort. Talking about the 3%, which is what by this time, we are all at that point. They understood systems. They talked about achievable goals, wrote it down, linked it to timing. So it's not just about so that we'll have checks and balances. We are making ourselves really accountable.
Those are the things we call systems, right?
So whether I'm talking about in 6 months, I want to start making a 5-digit number, I'm linking it 1 to time, and whatever project it is, I'm going to be multiplying things or dividing things to check in 1 month, what will I be able to achieve? So that within 6 months, will I actually get my 5-figure? So looking at it from today, I should be able to know things may be adjusted, but I have planned them.
Okay. Where then do you put church members in all this? Or they just fall off the chart? The Christians who just go to church to pray and believe God for miracles.
Well, I think we all have a job now to do, because we love ourselves and we love the congregations. And so the things we are taking away from here, as much as possible, we are going to disseminate and hope that people, we all desire to really make it. And so just to help others to see how they can improve themselves. But I'm just hoping and praying that as many of us that are here today will be able to check each other and make sure that we will all get there, having a proper breakthrough financially.
Please stand. Let's take a stand. What is happening then in the churches? How do you bring this? What have churches been doing? That's what I want to say.
Lots of the pastors actually, they don't understand that they don't even. Most of them, they don't even work. A lot of them don't work apart from just the church, and the church might not be even big. There might just be 30 people, but
So
the
they
church
have
is
to
their
live
work.
at the mercy of the offerings
Yes,
and
gifts or gifts. I don't know. Sometimes the church might give them one or two things. So if the pastors don't still understand the purpose of hard work and working hard and working smart, he won't be comfortable to preach that in the pulpit because he's not practicing it himself. So how do we get the pastors to practice working hard, working smart, working with systems, processes of...
So this is a long way.
It's the top. Majority of the top ones are not working hard, they're not working smart, they're not working with systems, they don't understand it. And a lot of them as well don't even know their purpose.
You are from Nigeria, I'm from Nigeria. With the way Nigerians are, if they had been taught like this, those people are going to sleep in churches. They are going to go to churches every day of their lives. They are even sleeping there, some of them. Some of them are so committed. They'll be going to one church for 10 years. Some of them are going to one church for 15, 20 years.
Yes.
Can you imagine if the right things are being taught to them like this?
Yeah, the Nigeria, I would say, the pastors, basically, they've succeeded in gathering the crowd, the Christians, they've succeeded in gathering the crowd, which is good. It is not the next stage, which is to begin to change the values of those crowd that has been gathered as Christians. So it's not like they've not done anything. They have the crowd. If you have 80 million Christians, there's nothing you can, and you begin to change their value systems. You begin to teach them the right principles. There's nothing that cannot be changed in Nigeria.
So we can actually change that country.
Yes, we can.
If that big crowd is well instructed.
Yes. The big crowd is the best advantage we have there.
Pastor, that is why I said, let's give these things to pastors. Because in Nigeria, pastors have...
They are not hearing you on this something. Okay. That is why you said what?
That's why I said, if we get who am I to pastors, because they seem to be everything. Majority of Nigerians really listen to pastors. So if the pastors are convinced, they read it and appreciate it. Once they recommend it in the church from the pulpit, that's it.
So
in fact, Amazon will not be able to supply the books.
You mean to say that people might be going to church for 10 years and not get this kind of information?
Let others speak for me. I'm sure.
20?
Yes, all their life. Some people still want more church. If church is 3 times a week, they want it to be daily. I don't know if I'm the only one.
I've often times, reiterated and said it that, as opposed to, and I'm not saying we're condemning pastors, it's just the reality.
No, I'm just looking at the potential.
But the thing is, the best way to succeed in this is to get pastors involved and reoriented pastors and make them feel appreciated first, because like Sister Tega said, it's not that they've not been doing anything. Ability to even gather crowd, we should celebrate them for that. And a lot of pastors are stranded because they don't have this information. If they have what we have, they will run with it. Are you getting me? A lot of this I didn't know as a pastor. Praise God. But if a lot of pastors can be helped to be involved, as opposed to, don't let me use the word attacked, then the result is going to be phenomenal.
How do we do that?
It's going to be phenomenal. Number one, by appreciating them and, celebrating the fact that you've come this far, you've done well, but there is a next level.
Do you have a burden?
I have a burden for pastors.
Maybe we should. Yeah. Maybe you people should begin to plan out how to help people.
Yeah, if we can stop the attack first and
Why
then,
do you say attack?
No,
Nobody is
No,
attacking.
what I mean is not that. In the sense that maybe we're making them feel like what they've not been helping the congregation. It's because the level
But
they're
if you
at
don't
is
acknowledge
how far.
that, what you call attack, if you don't acknowledge the problem, there is no way you can provide solution. So the fact that people are identifying the problem and the fact that they are calling the problem the way it is, that doesn't mean attack.
No. I'm just working with the system. But I'm using the system. If you appreciate somebody, and then it's easier for you to get them on board. If you congratulate them for what they've done and release this. Many of them don't have, I don't know how many. I think a lot of them are now getting on board through Facebook. I can say that because a lot of my friends, pastors, are on that platform. And so things would definitely change. Praise God.
But for example, if I'm living my life by what I know, and I think I'm trying my best, if you don't tell me that there is something else out there that I'm not doing, or that I'm doing wrong, I will not even know I'm not doing something. I'm not doing anything wrong. I just think I'm pastoring. But until somebody comes to tell me that, no, there are some things you are not doing, or there are some things that could be done. Even though you are appreciating me, you can appreciate me all you want, but if you don't tell me that there are things to be done differently, there is no way I will know. So we shouldn't let pastors think that they are being attacked just by things being raised. It brings awareness. Oh, so there is something I don't know. Oh, you mean there are things that could be done differently? Then it stirs in me rather the desire to find out what is it. So it could be found out different ways, both by appreciating and also by raising the awareness.
Exactly. Raising the awareness and then bringing them on board.
Yes,
like
yes.
You don't do what you don't know. Like you said, in those messages and teachings about, don't work for Uncle Sam. You told us how you actually became a millionaire within 8 months.
9 months.
In 9 months. You didn't know you could be there until you read that particular book, and you felt he's not even a Christian, and I can do better than this. But you didn't know you could be until you came in contact with that. So they don't know they can, transform lives because they don't have what you've got.
Because if we look at Nigeria, I'm just thinking, how many 80 million Christians? Can you imagine if we could not just make them come to church, but come to church and equip them like this? We'll change that concept. I think we'll change the whole world.
Many pastors are desperate to do that. Many pastors they just don't know what to do.
And somebody mentioned it yesterday that they want to be doing breakfast or something for pastor or lunch.
Yeah,
for
we need to get that sorted out. And bring them into the forum and get them involved and then get them linked. And who knows, we may even organize a HMT for pastors
you people can do HMT yourself.
Before.
Yeah. Some people, I have Pastor Abraham Great. He prays in London. He came for HMT here. And now he said, so he goes to Nigeria twice a year to organize HMT by himself after passing through one year. Just like you are passing
and
through
he's
now.
set up centers.
Yeah, he's just doing it, yes. It's by himself. So we can do the same thing. We can begin to help those pastors out. Okay.
Thank you. I've worked with pastors, not necessarily in Nigeria, but in other countries. And I still have a connection of pastors in Nigeria, and I'm sure they would be willing to run with this, because it's, as you can see, it's a vision that would help you explode your results. So I don't see who would not want that. Looking at the question you initially asked, which was about the difference in results, what I could see, and you also mentioned the church, the members of the church, what I could see is that a lot of people are living in survival mode. Yeah, people are struggling, so they're living in survival mode. So they can't even see, really beyond. Yeah, they can't really see beyond the now or whatever, and people who, and looking at the statistics, the 84, the 84%, the 84%, they're probably, they're just part of the normal system. This is what you do. So the system tells you, okay, go to university, go to school. So they're just following what the system does. But as we probably know, and there's a lot of statistics about this, that the system isn't preparing you. I mean, most of the system isn't preparing you to release you as leaders or people who are fully actualized. The system has been created to create employees and people who are submitted to the system, not people whose potential will be fully realized. So you have that group of people who are being told, I mean, they go to schools, the guidance counselor tells them that this is what you are supposed to do, and then they do it. Then you have the 13%, okay, maybe they've heard, because I think a lot of this is a lack of information, and it depends on where you are and what you're listening to. So I think the 13% probably heard maybe a motivational speaker, because they talk about goals. So maybe they heard that and they knew they needed a goal. So they have a goal, they might not have written it out, but it's working in their heart and it's guiding them in a particular direction. So they achieve a bit more. They get twice the results?
Twice.
Yeah, twice the results of the other people. But then you have the third category of people. I believe that category of people are they're purpose driven. The people who are following their hearts, wanting, maybe the radicals.
But just like you said, you are radical, you are purpose driven, but you didn't know the skills.
Yeah, so it was a lack of knowledge. Mine was a lack of knowledge. Okay, I'd heard the motivational people say have goals. I've written my goals 10,000 times, but still not achieving it at the level that I should be achieving them. So I knew something was missing, and I've been looking and I've been observing Pastor Sunday and his results, and that's why I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, we're ready to continue. Then we can put off the light. Okay, go ahead. We already went through
we've done
this.
that, yeah.
Yeah. Next one. Next one.
Research. To be able to make a detailed description, you will need to conduct a research in order to find all information on your topic.
You remember, if you notice that we've always been talking about research. How many of you will also say they notice the idea of research even when you talk with people who did presentations to you or where you went to see projects? See, research and systems always go hand in hand. You cannot underemphasize that. You cannot just live in your own shell with the little you know and then be thinking of changing the world. You must think research most of the time.
Number 3. Make a clear description of what you're lacking to fulfill your goal.
That's another point we have not spoken about. What are the things you are lacking?
Make this list to pray for each of the points in your prayer solitude. This could be finances, team, etc.
You see the purpose of prayer now. Prayer is to help you fulfill your goals and vision in life. Not for God to come and do it. Okay?
Number 4. Mark road signs.
Or make road signs.
Or is it make?
Or what do you call it? What road? Make road signs. Is it road signs? Milestones or you understand.
Yeah. Have a brainstorm to write down 10 intermediate results, like criteria that will show your progress towards your goal.
So intermediate, like for example, for me to know that I have to, if I want to get 1,000 people in a year, what are the intermediate results that I need? So those results could be every month, they could be every quarter, they could be every season. Put it. Every month I must have this result, or every 2 weeks I must have this, or every day I must have this. So when you know that every month you are attaining that result, then those intermediate results will make you to know that for sure you will come to the general result, to the eventual result. Yes.
Number 5, analyze the process of reaching the road signs. As you set the road signs, it is important to analyze if you make it to them on time.
Yes.
If necessary, introduce corrections to your activities.
That's the most important thing. As you are going, you are mentioning your progress. It's progress report. This is talking about progress report. So as you are going, you are saying, what are the things I do right? And where have I missed it a little bit? Or where is it I'm failing? So the progress reports are necessary for you to be able to measure your progress, correct, perfect your plans, and keep on moving at the pace or accelerated pace.
Number 6, break a global goal into smaller goals. Break a global goal into stages, intermediate goals, long-term, intermediate, short-term.
Yeah, you understand that concept.
Number 7, write out the plans for attaining the goal.
You already know how to do plans, right?
Number 8, every day do something to attain your goal.
Do something to touch your goals, right?
Touch your goal every day. Plan it in advance.
Make sure you do something. You remember how to touch your goals every day? Like we have divided everything in a day, and we say 3 people in a day or 1 person in a day. Make sure that you are doing something every day towards that goal. You remember how we divided it every day? So you are measuring your day by what you have done in regards, or that's bringing you closer to the bigger goal.
Number 9.
That's it. Okay. All right. Put on the light. Let's give the Lord a round of applause. So there is a quick one, a quick walk, a quick lesson. And now we just few more minutes, then we go for our break and before we go. So who thinks that the thing you've heard today in general, there is a way they could be applied to help you? You can see, you must be able to see that, okay, this can. I know where to use this. I can imagine this could help me. Yeah. This is a relevant thing that could help me. If anybody wants to tell us, please come and get the microphone.
Yeah, from my personal perspective and experience in terms of my professional practice and in my ministry, for instance, I've seen a lot of gaps that have, stopped me to get the most
That's
of my...
That's a good word, gaps.
Yeah.
That were there before, right?
Yeah, the most of my results and to apply all my capacity. I see myself as a very capable person, smart, hard worker, but sometimes I lose the focus.
Yeah.
And I think applying all this knowledge it's going to help me to be more systematic and do it with discipline.
Excellent. So little gaps. Okay, next person. If otherwise, all of you will have to stand. Okay, then, yeah. Because if
really,
the next one, so that you can go fast.
Concerning the goal, really, for years I've been told that goals need to be written down, and I used to write it down, and day by day I check it, but it is when I don't really know what to do with this goal. Because even they will tell you that the Bible says, make it plain. I wrote it in the plain paper. I wrote it on. Yeah, exactly. So that's why, really, most of these things we've gone through this. But It's just to know the step to be taken. How do you go about it? It's wrong just for anybody to tell you, write it on the play sheet. I've written it on the white. I wrote it on the black. But still, nothing. So I wasn't really sure of how to run with it.
I think it stems back from what Pastor was saying earlier on, where some of his friends,
Be careful.
where one of his friends told him, just put a bit in the book. So you get to have, a little of it, but then they don't tell you the next step. And so a lot of people get stranded, as opposed to what you've done in the book where you've put, although I think a book should be produced.
Written on this.
Yes.
So really, it is very.
So it's not just the goal you write. Yes. It's the method. Yes.
How do you go about it? What are the steps to be taken, and what to do at a particular time, and what to do, what not to do, and that is what I believe. Having come into this place, it's okay. I've really learned a lot, and going back home, I will do better. And I don't want us to condemn church. When we talk of the church consists of you and I. So if we say the church fails, you and I will fail. But most of the time, when we talk of the church, we look up on, it is pastor, it is pastor. Pastor can only give you what they have. What the pastor has is what he's giving you. What they don't have, they can't give you. But all I know is that the pastor, they need to improve on themselves. For you to be able to lead, you should be able to, for you to be able to lead, you are leading people. So for you to be there, people are looking up onto you. People are expecting much from you. To whom much is given, much is expected. Having gotten to that position of position of leadership, then you should do something commensurate to that post. So I want to encourage all the pastors, please, let's just buckle up. Let's try and move on to the next level.
Instead of buying your pastor a pack of shirts and vest and whatever this Christmas period, package all these messages, buy all these books, and just give it to him as a gift. Maybe if we start with that, yeah, it's true. Who else?
Thank you very much. I think from everything that I've heard, there's going to be progress for me. I'm afraid this church thing we're talking about, I think the information the pastors, I've experienced in some places, it's about writing the list of your vision. Just like you said, Pastor. Write the vision. Every morning you wake up and pray, you said, you decree that this is going to happen. Yeah? That is how it's okay. That's, like you said, that's what they know and understand. But thankfully, I keep saying it. I don't know, maybe I don't have much to say than to say, thank God for Pastor Sunday, because he's had the opportunity or the wisdom to use God's word to do a research and put things together. Now, there is a shift in paradigm. We pastors, because I'm a pastor, I preach. Yeah? I'm not a renowned pastor. I preach to people. It's part of the ministry, isn't it? Talk to people, make them understand. So I'm also going to preach at work and everywhere. So what we need to do, Pastor, I need to ask if it's possible, can we get a CD on this? Because I personally will package it as a present. I would like to package it as a present for some people, because that is going to also help the transformation process. They might not really understand everything, but sitting down and listening, yeah? Like I said, some people might not sit down and start reading. It puts them off. Some people not. There is an alternative. If you don't want the book, that's fine. There is a CD. You can listen to it. When you listen to it, there is something that will strike you. You'll be forced to contact Pastor Sunday. What do you mean? What is this? Can you clarify this? That will be a push. For me, it is going to be an advert so that people will understand what they need to do. Because if pastors can get this information, the church, the group that they gather is now a resource as well, based on the system that is in place. That can be used to disseminate this information and things will change.
So maybe if Deji can, Pastor was saying that Deji has it in place where he's packaged. I think you've done the finance work.
He has only done that for finances.
So yeah, so maybe because it's easier. You've got the gadgets and all the stuffs to do it. So with pastor's permission, we can actually purchase to give to pastors as gifts during this period. So maybe you give everyone a discount. Yeah.
Just to add something quickly, I have a lot of pastors already who are contacting me about your message on finances. So a lot of them are open about it. So I have a lot. I'll send you an email of pastors from America, UK, to even Africa that are so astounded with your messages, young pastors and old pastors, and they're buying it already. So yeah, so I think some will be open to it and some won't, because there's some who are stuck in their ways. That's the truth. There's some, yeah.
But she is talking about the ones who will be willing.
Yes.
So that it will be available.
Yeah, so that's fine.
It makes the journey easier.
No, like I was just thinking that, like all of us here, we have churches as well. We shouldn't go without picking that who am I and why am I here, and give it as a present to our pastors, because I'm going to do it as well. He needs to know. I mean, I can't. He has the pastors. They have the heart of God. They want the good of the members. They just don't have the know-how. So pick the book before we leave. Make sure we are getting it for our pastors.
But you people know that none of you answered any of the questions that I was just sitting down here, just enjoying you guys. Because you are all talking about pastors and churches, but the question I asked was, this information you people got now, today, you have seen it when you went to places. How do you see, where could you apply them in your own thing, vision, calling, where you feel, Pastor Ephraim, he came and answered exactly on that. Answered my question. Then from there, we all took off.
We were just trying to help you. You need pastors in this transformation.
Can you see the gap? He was talking about a gap. Can you see the place where this thing, it will fit in? Like Pastor also mentioned it, that this will fit in the sense that I had always written down vision, but now, so those are the kind of, where do you see this helping you?
This is going to help me greatly in the sense that, in my pastoral ministry, I'm going back to basically revamp, and all the goals are there, all the visions are there. The system is not there. Also, in my personal ministry, in Asia and my online broadcast, I got something from here. I've been working with couples to help to basically heal their marriages and bring back their marriages. I'm going to put this system in place where all the ones that God has used me to help, I'm going to bring them on board. I didn't know I could use them as resource because I'm the number one resource, but I've got them, but I've just let them go. So I'm going to get them all back, and we're going to start a movement.
See wisdom.
And then we are going to,
You see wisdom. This is what we are talking about.
Yeah. And so God's given me a name for it already. So we're going to be reaching out to marriages.
Because that way you multiply your effect.
Yeah.
You just multiply, you just go global.
Yeah. So
thanks to system.
Yeah. So that's what I'm going to do with the package.
Thank you. I was thinking when I was coming here that I had some visions and plans. I would just say once I come here, once I go home, I would just start running with it. But I realized that the greater work is in the preparation. You have to do your 75%. You have to sit down, write everything down, do your research, fill yourself up. So I'm not just going to go home and just start running with it. The preparation stage, I need to go through it step by step.
That's what we want to hear. The reason why I see people go off and sometimes I'm quiet is because I'm teaching about the nature of women these days.
Great. Thank you, sir. Just like my sister, in fact, I'm seeing that I can start something without anything in my pocket, even without having a huge...
I think most people don't even know that. Eh?
Yeah. So the most important thing for me to do is to build a system.
Yes.
Draw out a plan, the 75% and the 25% that you taught us yesterday.
Yeah.
So I believe with that, and with research and looking into the lives of people that have attained the same thing that I'm wanting to do, copying from their life, listening to their testimony, see how they did it, I think it will help me to do something.
Pastor, from the first lesson,
you are almost like Michael Jackson. handsome guy. Huh? He looks like me. I told him that too. His head. We have the same head structure. You could say you are my brother.
Yes, sir.
He's rubbing all on me little by little.
So, Pastor, something that shifted for me from the very first lesson was, I think, the 11th point or so, where you said we should bring our plans to God.
Yes.
Now, what we used to know is that we go to God to collect plans.
Okay.
Yeah, we just go and just see downloads. They base that on the idea that he gave Moses a blueprint.
Okay.
So we just pray,
maybe that's
pray,
the vision. You go get the vision or the idea from God, but you have to sit down and do the plan yourself.
Yes, sir.
Because Jesus said, sit down by yourself if you want to go ahead. So you didn't need to go to heaven to calculate.
Yes, sir. And secondly, there's this practice we grew up with that we kind of transferred into our ministries too. At the end of the year, there's this special prayer request we come in with that we list things we want God to do for us in the following year. So just as it's about to be New Year, the pastor would gather those together and then pray over them. And then we're expectant, hoping that in the next year something would happen miraculously to make it happen for us. And then most times you find that year in, year out, people come and write the same thing. They come and write the same thing and write the same thing, and it's just not working.
Maybe instead of that now, before the new year, this is what we're supposed to be gathering people and teaching them systems.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is exactly the missing link. So rather than just prayer request for a new year, we can have we can make the whole of December a time for training people on building systems.
Brilliant. Okay. Pastor, who is there? Well, that's it for today. I will be back in the evening, but we have trainings this afternoon, seminars. They will tell us about it. Today is going to be another busy day. But I think can we say bye-bye to people on Facebook? Yeah? So thank you so much, guys, from Facebook. And it was nice to be with you. We'll be back again in the evening at 9 o'clock. Our time is 9 o'clock. Yeah, just as usual. In the evening, we'll be doing direct HMT direct broadcast. So see you in the evening, everybody. God bless.